Hello class, so once you have your setup drawn in with your 4 value scales, the continuous tone graphite, the black charcoal, the hatching, the stippling, then you're going to begin to make your value scale. And I'm not going to complete the value scale, but I'm going to show you how to begin it and how to develop it, or at least tell you how to develop it. So for continuous tone graphite, you could use a variety of pencils. For example, you could do the darker one in a 6B, and you could do the lighter ones in HB. Or you could do it all in one pencil. It's up to you. I'll leave that up to you. For this example, I'm going to do it all in a 4B. Okay, now our lightest value, okay, is this one. And it's going to be a 1. And this is going to be the white of the paper. The lightest that you could ever get, the lightest value you could ever get is the white of the paper. So what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to develop the darkest value. And this is the darkest possible value that I could get with this technique and this media. Okay, so it's the darkest possible value you could get with this media. And this is going to change depending on what media and what technique you use. That's the darkest possible value you could get with the media. So once you have your darkest possible value, then you're going to want to develop the middle value. Okay, so this is a 9. So you're going to want to develop this one, which is a 5. Okay, and then you're gonna use your best judgment, and it's possible that you may need to go back and make it darker or lighter. But what I'm gonna do, because you don't want to have this go off the edges, I'm gonna lighten this up. Okay, and I'll sharpen it up with the next edge. So what you're gonna do next is you're gonna work this way, and then work this way, and then work this way. So work out from the center, and then in from the edges. And sometimes it can help, so you don't keep smearing things, is to get a piece of paper, a clean piece of paper, and place it on the value scale, where you're gonna have your hand resting. And it can be helpful in this to keep a sharp pencil. And remember, you want to get it even all the way across, okay? And I know this one isn't, but with time you'll be able to get it even all the way across. Okay, and it's possible I went too dark on this, but you're only going to know by doing it, okay? And what I can do is go back on this one. So you want to make comparisons from one square to the other. Okay, now looking at this, I'm thinking this one might be a little dark, so I'm just going to come through and just line it up a little bit, okay? A needle eraser. Okay, and then you want to clean up these edges here, because you want them to be nice and crisp. And if you want to, come through with your vinyl eraser, that'll really clean it up. Okay, so I'm going to get the one in between. But be sure that it's even all the way across. Now looking at it, I'm realizing this one could be a little bit darker. Okay, now we're gonna move this way. Okay, so now this one's gonna be a little lighter. Okay, and I'm gonna move from this one. Okay, I'm gonna get the 2. Okay, so this is the 1, which is the white of the paper, and 2 is just gonna be barely there. It's a very light gray. You may even need to use your eraser to line it up. Now I know I'm going off the line a little bit, but this is so light it'll easily erase. Okay, and then I'm going to make the 3, which is going to be in between these two. I think I start off a little dark. Okay, and I can see this is already a little too dark. Or maybe this needs to be a little darker. So you have to, sometimes you have to go back to the middle and darken it or lighten it. It's a back and forth. Because I think this could be a little darker, possibly. Just a little bit, right about there. And then this one. Make sure these edges are nice and clean. You want to make sure it's even all the way across. So this is going to take a little bit of fine tuning, okay? All right, and this is it's pretty solid. I mean, if I had to tune this up a little bit more, I would clean up these edges, and I would do so with a vinyl eraser. Just make sure your eraser is clean when you use it, because otherwise you might actually make it dirtier. Let's go on another piece of paper and kind of just clean it up a little bit. Okay, so unfortunately my phone stopped recording before while I was doing this one, but I want to kind of review how to do it. Basically, what you're going to do is you're going to tape off the square, okay, and you're going to stipple. And when you stipple, especially on this one, I would suggest using 2 pencils. It'll go quicker. Okay, so basically you're going to use 2 pencils. And I would suggest getting them in the same softness, so there's your 2 4Bs, and you're going to go like this. And you're going to keep doing this until it's completely black, almost as dark as that. Okay, so there should be no white showing through. Okay, and then towards the end, what you're going to do is try to fill in the little white spaces, any white spaces that are left. Okay, and once you're done, you're going to take the tape off. And then you're going to develop the middle tone. And you're going to do that in the same style. And then once you're done with that, then you're going to move this way, and you're going to move from the darkest value this way, and then move from the lightest, from the 1 to the 2, and then from the 5 to the 4, and do it in the same way that you did this, but using stippling. But one way to quicken it up is to do it using 2 pencils, or even 3 if you could do it that way. And I would, and the biggest thing I always see is on the darkest value, students leave a lot of white showing, but you can get it very dark with a stippling if you keep going at it until all the white's covered. Then you're going to go to hatching, okay? And you're going to do hatch marks until all the white is covered on the 9, then do the 5, and then work your way out, and then work your way in from the 2 extremes. And the same with the black charcoal.